Question number 17. This is section 2, 50 marks. You are supposed to answer questions, only 5 questions from this section in the spaces provided. So once you get, each question is 10 marks. So this one, number 17, the hire purchase HP price of a public address system was 276,000. A deposit of 60,000 Kenyan shillings was paid by followed by 18 equal monthly installment. The cash price of the public address was 10% less than the higher purchase price. Part A, calculate Roman number 1, the monthly installment. Now, let's start with that. You can see the higher purchase is 270. So to get the amount that was paid in monthly installment, we just say 276,000. You minus 60,000, and that when you minus that, you should be able to use your calculator. You get 216,000, and since the number of installment were 18 equal monthly installment, then 216,000 you divide by 18, and you'll be able to get the monthly installment was 12,000 using your calculator. Just arranging it like that because of space. Roman number 2, the cash price. We are told that the cash price was 10% less than higher purchase. So this is a higher purchase, that is 276,000. That is the higher purchase. So we divide by 100%, and since it was 10% less, you multiply by 90%. So you compute that, you should be able to get 248,400. So this is the cash price, which is 10% less than the higher purchase. We go to part B of the question. A customer decided to buy the system in cash and was allowed a 5% discount on the cash price. He took a bank loan to buy the system in cash. The bank charged compound interest on the loan at the rate of 20% per annum. The loan was repaid in 2 years. Calculate the amount repaid to the bank by the end of the second year. Since it is compound interest, what we do is the amount to be paid, let's use this amount is equals to the principal. Before we compute the amount, since the customer was around 5% discount, let's get the amount the customer paid. So it is 248,400. You divide by 100 and you multiply by 95. So this will give you, if you use your calculator, you'll be able to get 235,980. So after being around 5% discount, this is what the customer was to pay, and therefore this is what the customer took from the bank, and therefore we say amount is equals to, so this is the principal, 235,980. You open the bracket, we have 1 plus the percentage was 20. So you use a formula that we use for compound interest. So this is divided by 100, and the time to repay the loan was 2 years. So you can compute that using your calculator. So you multiply 235,980. This will be 1.2 raised to power 2, or 1.2 squared. And you can be able to calculate that, compute that in your calculator, and you'll be able to get 339,811 and 20 cents. So that is the amount of money that was paid to the bank. Part C, express as a percentage of higher purchase the difference between the amount repaid to the bank and the hire purchase price. So this is the amount that was paid. The hire purchase was 276,000. So let's start with the amount that the customer paid to the bank. So it is 339,811 and 20 cents. You minus 276,000. That is the amount that was to be paid in. There is a higher purchase. When you subtract that, you should be able to get 68,811 and 20 cents. So we are supposed to make to compute this as a percentage of the higher purchase. So what you do, you say 68,811 and 20 cents. You divide by the higher purchase, which is 276,000, and you multiply by 100. So that will give you the percentage of the higher purchase, the difference between the amount you paid to the bank. You compute that, you should be able to get 23.12%, and that is how you work out that. So with that, then here you should be able to get 1 mark there and 1 mark there, 2 marks. Here you get a mark and you get a mark there. Those are 4 marks. Here you get 3 marks. So you should get a mark for that, mark for that, and mark for the answer. And then here you get 3 marks, and you should be able to get a mark there, a mark there, and a mark for the answer. And that will total up to 10. So I hope this is what you covered in Form 3, Commercial Arithmetics. So this formula is very important, the formula for computing the amount accrued when we are being charged compound interest. So that's how you do that, and I hope you have followed that. This is question number 18, 2013 Kcse Mathematics Paper 2. It is from the Form 3 topics, chords and tangents. So the question says, in the figure below, PR is the diameter of the circle center O. So we have our PR here. PQR and S are on the circumference of the circle. So we have PQRS on the circumference of the circle. Angle PRQ is 72. PRQ, we are given that angle there. QS is equals to QP. QS is equals to QP. So those two lines are the same. And USV is a tangent to the circle. USV is a tangent. So giving reasons, calculate the size of angle QPR. Where is angle QPR? QPR. So this is the angle that we are interested in. Now, we can be able to do that. You see, we have been told that PR is the diameter, and therefore it means that this angle here is 90. A diameter makes an angle of 90 at the circumference. Therefore, 72, so we can start by saying PQR. We can say angle PQ is equals to 90 degrees because PR is the diameter, implying that, this is part A of the question, implying that we have P, that is QPR is equals to, the two angles add up to 90, so it is 90 minus 72 degrees, and this should give you 18 degrees. So here you'll be able to get 2 marks. Part B of the question, we are told we get the size of PQS. PQS. So this angle here, this is the one that we are interested in, PQS. Now that angle, what we do is that we know PSQ is 72, angle subtended by the same chord PQ. So we say we have PQ. The PQ subtends this angle, and it also subtends this angle. So angle that this is called PQ. It subtends this angle, which is 72, and it also subtends this. Angles subtended by the same chord are the same. So this is 72, the whole of this angle. If that angle is 72, it means that this angle we have found it is 18. So what it means is that the whole of this angle is 72, because PQS is an isosceles triangle. PQ is the same as QS. So we say that, what we can say is that to give reason, PSQ is equals to 72. You can say same chord PQ, same chord, subtended by the same chord. This means that PS is also 72 degrees. So we can say isosceles triangle. This is isosceles triangle. I'm writing in short form because of space. This implies that since PQS is a triangle, then it means PQS is like that. PQS is equals to 180 minus 2 multiplied by 72. This should give you 180 minus 144, which will give you 36 degrees. So it means this angle here is 36 degrees. So that is, you have given reasons. Let's come here and have a look at C. Our C, we are supposed to find OQS. So OQS, it is this angle here. Now, already we know this angle is 18, and OQ and OP are the same. That is the radius. Therefore, this angle here is 36, not 36, but 18. 18, the same as this angle, and therefore this angle is 18. So OQS is 18. So you say OQS is equals to 36. Let's put it here, down here, is equals to 36 minus 18 is equals to 18 degrees. You can say base angles of isosceles triangle. Base angles of isosceles triangle. So that is how you answer that. So there you also get 2 marks. We have given reason. Then what do we have here? We have our D here. Our D, we are supposed to get RTS. Where is RTS? Now with RTS, we know PRS. PRS is the same as that, is 36 degrees. Why? Because PS subtends this angle, that is PQS, and subtend the same. So angles subtended by the same chord are equal. So we say that we can say PRS is equals to that 6 degrees. So you say subtended by PS. So if that is this angle here, then we can look at, we can say RTS. RTS, we have this angle here. Before we go to RTS, this angle here is 18 degrees. Why? Because it QR subtend angle, this angle 18, so they are the same, subtended by the same. So we say QS R is equals to 18 degrees. So we can now get so we have this angle and this angle, so we can say that RTS is equals to 180 minus 18 plus 36, and that should give you these are degrees. Don't forget to put that. That should give you, when you work out that, you should be able to get 126 degrees. So this angle here is 126 degrees, and you have the reason for that. Finally, we have let's use this. We have E, we have RSV. Now PSU, we have PSU is equals to 36. We can say 36 because external angle made by a chord with the tangent is the same as angle subtended at the circumference. So we can say PSU is equals to PRV. PRV is equals to so this is 36. So if that angle is 36 and we are required to find RSU, so what we do is that this angle here, PSR, is 90 because it is subtended by diameter. So from 90, then we can be able to get the other angle. If this angle is 36, then it means this angle is 90. So RSV is equals to 90 minus 36 degrees, and that should give you 54 degrees. So that is how you do that. You can also say this angle, you can also say RSV is the same as the angle subtended by this chord here, which is 72 minus 18. You still be able to get 54. So that's how you work out that question. We have the limitation of space, but I hope you have followed, because I didn't want to do it in more than one page, so that you can be able to see what we are doing on this diagram. This diagram is very important. When you fill the information that you have, it helps you to be able to get the other unknown values or angles that you are required to work out. So I hope you have followed. This is question number 19, 2013 Kcse Mathematics paper 2. We are told complete the table below for y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5. So this you covered in form 4, form 3, further graphical methods. And here we have been given a table, the value of x, and the function y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5. You are supposed to fill the missing gaps here. You have minus 3. When x is minus 3, you have been given the value of y is 19. When x is 0, the value of y is minus 5. So what you do here is you take your calculator, and you can just substitute this directly. Therefore, you are going to feed, here you have been given y is minus 5. So you can use the brackets, that is, you put the bracket, you put minus, you say 5, minus 5, you close the bracket, you press the raising button, that is to put power, and that is raised to power 3. Then you add to 4. You put 4 plus 4, multiply by, you put the bracket, you say the value of x is minus 5, so you put minus 5 and you close the bracket, you minus, put 5, multiply by, put the bracket, minus 5, close the bracket, and finally you put minus 5. That should give you, when you put that, you should get minus 5. You substitute the same for 4, you should get 15. When you substitute for minus 2, you should get 13. When you substitute for minus 1, you get 3. When you substitute for 1, you get minus 5. When you substitute for 2, you get 9. You can use your calculator and do that, but be very careful, because if you mess up with one value, then you are not going to get the correct value. B, on the grid provided, draw the graph of y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5, for x is minus 5 less than or equals to, that is, x is less than or greater than or equals to minus 5, less than or minus or less than or equals to 2. This is called the range, and you'll be able to get. So when you fill these values, then you get 2 marks. Now I'm going to do that in another page, so that we have the grid provided. So let's go ahead and draw our graph using now the table that we have filled in here. So this is the grid that we are going to use. I've already inserted the table that we have filled in section A. The highest value of x is 2, the lowest is minus 5. The highest value of y is 19, the lowest is minus 5. So if we come to our graph here, we can say that is the starting point is 0. Then we can say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is x-axis. Always remember to label your axis. You don't need to draw these lines to represent the axis, because already we have the grid. So here we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. This we can use 5, we have 10, we have 15, we have 20, and this is our y-axis. This is minus 5, we have minus 10. So with that, we can now plot the points that we have. So we have when x is minus 5, y is minus 5. So that's where we put our point. Always you can use a dot or you can use an X like that. Both are okay, whichever you are comfortable. But for me, I'm going to use the dots. When x is minus 4, y is 15. So that's where we have our point. When x is minus 3, y is 19. That's where we have 19. When x is minus 2, y is 13. So that's where we have our 13. When x is minus 1, y is 3. We have it there. When x is 0, y is minus 5. When x is 1, y is minus 5. And when x is 2, y is 9. Y is 9. That's where we have our 9. So we are going to join these points to come up with a graph which we are required to plot. So let's do that. When you are joining the point, you use your free hand. Don't use a ruler, and make your graph as smooth as possible so that you get the correct values. So this is the best graph I could come up with. I hope you can get better than that. So once you do this, you'll be able to get 3 marks here. So that's what you do. That's how you draw the graph. Part C, Roman number 1. Use the graph to solve the equation x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5 is equals to 0. So you can see here y has been equated to 0. So we are supposed to find, so we can put here, we can y is equals to, we have x cubed, then we have plus 4x squared, then we have minus 5x minus 5. And the equation we are supposed to solve is 0. We can start with 0, x squared, x cubed, plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5. So what we are supposed to do, y has been equated to 0. So we find what is x when y is equals to 0. we read the values of x when y is equals to 0. So that is y is 0 at the x-axis. So the first point here, the small point represents 0.2. So 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. The first value is minus 4.8. The other one, where the graph cuts the x-axis, 0.12, 0.4, 0.6 is minus 0.7. And the other value is, this is 1.5. So 1.5. So those are the values that satisfy the equation. So once you do that, you should be able to get 2 marks. You should be able to get these 2 marks. The last part of this question, by drawing a suitable straight line on the grid, solve the equation x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5 is equals to minus 4x minus 1. Let's go back to our grid. So you can see here the equation that we are supposed to solve is x squared plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5 is equals to minus 4x minus 1. So we can say y has been equated to minus 4x minus 1. This represents a linear graph, a straight line. So we need to find the value of x when y is equals to this. That is, we draw a line which cuts the values where, find the values where this line cuts our graph here, which is represented by this function. So to do that, we are going to make 3 points. So this is x and this is y. We say when x is minus 1, minus 4 times minus 1 is positive 4, minus 1, that gives you 3. When x is 0, this will be minus 4 times 0 is 0, minus 1, so y is minus 1. When x is 1, this will be minus 4 times 1 is minus 4, minus 1, that will give you minus 5. So we are going to identify these points. So when x is minus 1, y is minus 3, so that's where the point is. When x is 0, y is minus 1. We have it. When x is 1, y is 5. So what you do is you draw a straight line passing through these points and see how it looks like. So this is a graph that I have come up with. Okay, I had forgotten to label my graph. Always remember that. So it is minus 4x minus 1, and the other one is y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5. Very important, you label your graphs. Now, because we are supposed to solve the equation, we get the values of x where the two graphs cut each other. So the first one is 4. So it means x, it means here x is equals to minus 4. The other point that the two graphs cut each other is minus 1, and the other last point is 1. So these are the values that satisfy this equation here, which we have been told to solve. And that is how you work out that question. If you do that correctly, then here you'll be able to get 3 marks. You'll be able to get 3 marks. A very easy question if you do it correctly. The only part you need to be very careful is this part when you are filling the graphs, the table the values which you are going to use to plot the graph. Then the next important thing is you draw your graph as smooth as possible so that you get the correct values. I hope you have followed. This is question number 20. 2013 Kcse Mathematics paper 2. We are told the figure A, B, C, D, E, F below represent a roof of a house. AB is equals to DC. This is AB is equals to DC is equals to 12 centimeter. BC is equals to AD is equals to 6 centimeter. AE, this is AE is equals to BF is equals to CF is equals to ED is equals to 5 centimeter, and EF is equals to 8 centimeter. So those measurements have been indicated on the diagram. So part A, calculate correct to 2 decimal places the perpendicular distance of EF from the plane ABCD. So perpendicular distance is a distance from here to the plane ABCD. So what we do is we can draw a line here, there, which is to pass at the middle. Let's put it here. So that line passes at the middle, and then we drop a perpendicular line here, like that. We can label this part F, E, F, G. Let's label that this part point and this point H here. Now, since we are required to calculate the perpendicular distance, what do we know here? This side here is 5 centimeter. Now, if we draw another line here, let's draw another line here. Since we have EF is 8 centimeter and AB is the length is 12 centimeter, it means if we can drop another line here, another perpendicular line here, let's put it like that. What this means that is this is 2 and this is also 2 and this is 8. Now, to get the perpendicular, what we need, this is a right angle here, so we can use this side here because this is 3 and this is 3. So we can use 3 and 5 to get EH, and then from there we can use EH to get the perpendicular height. So we can come here and say, let's say we say EH is equals to the square root, because it is a right angle triangle, of 5 squared minus 3 squared is equals to the square root of 25 minus 9 is equals to the square root of 16, which is equals to 4. So it means that this side here is 4. If this side is 4 and this is 2, then it means the height that we are looking for, which we can say height is equals to, this is a right angle, so it is the square root of 4 squared minus 2 squared. So this is equals to square root of 16 minus 4 is equals to the square root of 12, which you can get using your calculator, and you'll be able to get 3.46 meters. So the height, the perpendicular height from EF to the plane ABCD is 3.46 meters. So that's how you work out that. The second part, so this is, we can say this is A. So let's come to B. We just use this, so we can just use here. Calculate the angle between the planes AB, the plane ADE. Where is our ADE? This is ADE and ABCD. So the angle between these two planes is actually this angle here. And since we have we have these measurements, we can say the cosine. We can say cosine is we say it is cosine is adjacent of hypotenuse is a cosine of let's call it theta is equals to adjacent is 2 divided by 4 is equals to a half. So you use your calculator now and now get cos inverse of a half. So you press the inverse button, you press cos, that will give you cos inverse, and you put 0.5, and you'll be able to get theta here is equals to 60 degrees. So the angle here is 60 degrees. So that's how you get that. Roman number 2, the line AE. This is AE and the plane ABCD correct one decimal place. So the angle between the line AE and the base, that is ABCD, is the angle between AE and its projection. So we can draw up a line here to represent the projection, which you come and touch that. So that is a projection. It will be, that is, if you drop E, it will fall onto G here. So the angle that we are required to find is this one. And how do we do that? We have already found this is 3 point. This is 3 point. This is the square root of 12, which we have found is equals to 3.46 here. So we can use root 12. I've put root 12 so that, because this is approximated, so that we'll be able to get a better or exact value. So we can say that angle, we use sine. Sine of this angle is opposite of a hypotenuse. So we can say sine, let's call it alpha, is equals to, opposite is root 12. You divide by the 5. You divide by 5, and when you get when you divide that, then you get it is 0.6928. So you can now get sine inverse of 0.6928, which you can use your calculator and say, you just say sine inverse. You press the inverse button and you write 0. Actually, you can put the bracket and say the square root of 12 divided by 5, and you put the bracket, and that will give you the angle 43 is equals to 43.9, and this is to 1 decimal place, as we have been told here. So you get 2 marks by doing that. Then we have the plane. You get the angle between the plane ABEF. This is ABFE. This plane here, ABFE, and D and DC, DCFE. So actually, the angle that we are required to find here is this angle here, angle between that is angle the angle AE. So we can say what we say, since we can be able to calculate half of this angle and we multiply by 2, so we can say the tangent of angle, we can actually call it AEH. AEH is equals to, that is that angle, you multiply by 2 so that we get the whole angle, which you get, it is 2 multiplied by tan inverse of this angle, which we say it is tangent of this angle is opposite of adjacent. So you say it is opposite. This is the opposite, that is this is 3, and this is the height is 12. So what we do is we get it is equals to tan inverse of 3 divided by root 12, which you'll be able to get, it is 2 multiplied by 40, that is the tan inverse of this, 40.89, which you get it is equals to 8, these are degrees, 81.8 degrees. So the angle between these is actually the angle between the 2 points. So that is how you work out that question. You did this in Form 4. I think the topic known as 3 dimension, that is where you covered that in Form 4. and I hope you have followed. So you should be able to work out angles between the plane, two planes, angles between a plane and a line, and that should be easy for you. So this is question number 21, 2013 KCSE Mathematics Paper 2, Part A. Complete the table below, giving the values correct to one decimal place, and you'll get 2 marks. So here we have given a row representing x degrees from 0 up to 240. Here we have a function, 2 sine into bracket x plus 20 degrees. So you are given the values, some values, and we have root 3 cos x, and we have some values. So you are supposed to complete this. So what you do here is you just take your calculator. This value here is missing, so you just put 2, the sign. Since the value of x is 40 here, so 40 plus 20 is 60. So you say it is 2 sine 60, and you'll be able to get 1.7. So here we have 1.7, and that is to one decimal place as indicated. We come to this value. Here we are supposed to say to put root 3 cos 80, because x is 80. So you say root 3 cos 80, and when you do that, you'll be able to get 0.3 to one decimal place. Here you say 2 sine 140, so that is 120 plus 20. So you write 2 sine 140, and that should give you 1.3 to one decimal place. Here you are supposed to write to get root 3, the cosine of 160. That should give you, you'll be able to get minus 1.6 to one decimal place 2. And here you have 200, so it is 200 plus 20 is 220. So it is 2, the sine of 220, and that should give you minus 1.3 to one decimal place. Finally, you get root 3, the cosine of 240. So we have root 3, the cosine of 240, and that should give you minus, that is, let's do it again, the root 3 cosine of 240, and that should give you minus 0.9 to one decimal place. So with the help of a calculator, you should be able to fill this table easily. Part B of the question, on the grid provided, using the same scale and axis, draw the graph of y is equals to 2 sine x plus 20 and y is equals to the root of cos x, root 3 cos x for the range x is greater or equals to 0, x is less than or equals to 140. And here you get 5 marks. So let's do that on a grid in another page, so that we will be, because here we don't have enough space. So this is the grid that I'm going to use to plot the two graphs. Actually here we should have y is equals to, so the highest value of y is 1.7 in the first one, and lowest is minus 2. The other one is, the highest is 1.7, the lowest is minus 1.6. So on the grid, we can say, if that we take that as our starting point, we put this is 1 and this is 2, and we say this is our y-axis. On the other side we have minus 1 and we have minus 2. The y-axis, we can say, the x-axis, you can say 40, from 0 to 240. This is 80, this is 120, this is 120, we have 160, we have 200, we have 240. Always plan your scale, these are degrees, always plan your scale to to maximize the use of the space, and that is the one that will enable you to get correct values. So this is the value of x. Now we start with the first one. When x is 0, y is 1.7. So the 1.7, this is 1.5. 1.7 is that point. Let's use 1.7 is there. You can use a dot or you can use an x like that, whichever you find convenient. I'm going to use dots. When x is 40, y is 1. I think here we are. When x is 0, y is 0.7. So that's where we have 0.7. When x is 40, it is when x is 1.7. When x is 80, y is 2. When x is 120, y is 1.3. 1.3 is there. When x is 160, y is 0 there. When x is 200, y is minus 1.3. Minus 1.3 should be there. When x is 200 and when x is 240, you get y is minus 2. So we join these points to come up with a graph. Use your free hand and make your graph as smooth as possible. So this is a graph. You should come up with something similar to this or better than this. And this is a graph of y is equals to the sine of x plus 20. These are degrees. So the other one is we plot the graph of the other one. So when x is 0, y is 1.7. Y is 1.7. Y x 1.7. So 1.7 should be there. When x is 40, y is 1.3. 41.3 should be there. When x is 80, x is y is 0.3. When x is 120, y is minus 0.9, which is there. When x is 160, y is minus 1.6 there. When x is 200, y is the same as 1.6 again. And when x is 240, y is minus 0.9. Minus 0.9. So you join these points using your free hand to come up with the graph of the function y is equals to the root of cos x. So let's do that. So this is a graph that you come up with, or something better than this. This is a graph of y is equals to root 3 the cosine of x. So that's a graph. So with that now, we should be able to answer the next question you are asking this question. Let's see what we are required to do. So going back to the question, we are told use a graph drawn in B above to determine the values of x for which 2 sine x plus 20 is equals to the root 3 cos x, and you get 2 marks. Going back to the question, we are told Roman number 2, what's the difference in amplitude of y is equals to sine x plus 20 and y is equals to the root of cos x? So we need to go to the graph, to go back to the graph that we have, graphs that we have drawn, so that we get the solution of this. So let's do that. We are supposed to get the difference in amplitude of y is equals to 2 sine x plus 20 and y is equals to root 3 cos x. You get 1 mark. So the amplitude is the maximum height, the maximum in term from the x-axis, the maximum height. So we can say the maximum height here of the first one is 2. You minus the other one. You can either use this part, but you take the magnitude, or you can use this one. but here it is showing, because there is a curve, you can get the maximum. It is 1.7, which you get, it is 0.3. So the difference in amplitude is equals to 3. That is, this is the amplitude. This is the amplitude from x-axis, the maximum, and the other one is this one. This is the maximum height. So this is what we are saying. This is 2 and this is 1.7, and therefore the difference is 0.3, and there you get 1 mark. So this that's how you do that question. If you just follow it's a very easy question. If you just follow the process correctly, you should be able to score 10 marks. I hope you have followed. This is question number 22, 2013 Kcse Mathematics Paper 2. And we are told 3 quantities R, S, and T are such that R varies directly as S and inversely as the square of T. Given that part A, given that R is equals to 480, when S is equals to 150, and T is equals to 5, write an equation connecting R, S, and T. So from the statement here, this question is from Form 3, that is in variation. We can be able to get the equation. So we use the first statement. We say R, we are told R is directly proportional to S and inversely proportional to T squared. So that is what this statement here says. From here. That is what the statement. So we can be able to write this as an equation. R is equals to K S, you divide by T squared. So we can substitute and say, make K the subject. K is equals to R multiplied by T squared, you divide by S. Since we have been given the value of R is 490, which is equals to 480, you multiply by T is 5, so 5 squared, and you divide by S. Our S is 150. 150, which you'll be able, if you use your calculator, you'll be able to get 80. So this means K is equals to 80, and therefore now we can write this equation. R is equals to 80, that is K S divided by T squared. So that is the equation connecting R, S, and T. We go to part B. Find the value of R when S is 360 and T is 1.5. Since we have obtained our equation in part A, R is equals to 80, that is K, S is 360, you multiply by 360, and you divide by 1.5 squared. You can still use here, you will use your calculator, and you will be able to find that this is 12,800. So there you get 2 marks. Roman number 2, we are told find the percentage change in R if S increases by 5% and T decreases by 20%, and you get 4 marks. So we can say the new R, we use R, that is R with prime, is equals to, now we have K, then S has increased by 5, so it is 1.05 of the old, this is 5 of the old S. So S has increased by 0.5, so it is 1, or we can say 105 divided by 100, that is Stamford's percentage, and the T has decreased by 20%, so it will be 0.8 or 80%, which is 80 over 100 of the T, and this is squared, which you can say Now you have 1.05 Ks. You divide by when you square 0.8 you get 0.64 t squared. You divide 1.05 by 0.64, you'll be able to get, that is 1.64, that is to two decimal place of Ks. You divide by t squared. So you realize here, this part here is the same as our r here. They are the same here. So what you do is you say r, the new r will be 1.64 of the old r, implying that r has increased by 64%. So that's how you work out that question. You get 4 marks in the first part, the 2 marks in the second part, and 4 marks in the third part. And you have to show the working that I have indicated here, because you don't just give the answer. You show the working, the markings, the marks are awarded method and the answer. So I hope you have followed that. So question number 23, we are told the equation of a curve is given by y is equals to 5x minus a half x squared. On the grid provided, draw the curve of y is equals to 5x minus a third x squared and a half x squared for x less than 6. So we have 3 marks there. The first thing you do is to prepare a table which will help us to be able to put the values of x and the values of y. So this is a table that I'm going to use. You can just draw it using your free hand. You don't have to use a ruler. Just drawn like that for my own convenience. So here I'll put my x. X you start. I'll start from 0. That is we have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we have here I'll use 5x, so I'll multiply 5 times x, that will be 0. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 15, 20, 25, and we have 30. And then we have here I'll put a half x, that is a half x squared. So I'll square the x and multiply by a half minus a half, so that will give me 0. Then you have minus 1 squared is 1 times minus a half, that will give you minus 0.5, so that is 0.5. This will give you minus 2. This will give you 4.5. This will give you 8. This will give you 12.5. This will give you 18. After that, then we get the value of y, which now is 5x minus that, and this will give me 0. This is 4.5, that is 5 minus 0.5. This will give me 8. This is 10.5. This is 12. This is 12.5, and this gives me 12. So these are the values that I'll need to plot my graph. So I'll go to the grid and plot the graph. So this is a grid that I'm going to use to plot my graph. I've already inserted my table, so I'll start from here, the origin. So we have 0, can put our 0 there. Then we can say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, we have can put 6 and 7, So that is my x-axis, and then we have the y-axis goes up to, we can put up to 13. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be enough. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we have 14. So that is my y-axis. And from the table, when x is 0, y is 0. So I'll have my point there. When x is 1, y is 4.5. So for 4.5, I'll put it there. When x is 2, y is 8. So 8 is there. Then you have when x is 3, it's 10.5. So 10.5, put it there. Then we have when x is 4, y is 12. So that's where we have 12. When x is 5, it is 12.5. So that's where we have 12.5. When x is 6, y is 12. So we have our points. So what remains is to join these points to come up with the graph. So using your free hand, you join the points and you come up with a graph. Y, that is y is equals to 5x minus a half x squared. So in this case, always remember to label your axis and your graph so that you don't lose marks. So let's go back to the question and see what is next. So part B, you are told by integration, find the area bounding the curve, the x is equals to 6 and the x-axis. So to integrate, that is this is part B of the question. We integrate, then our image is from 0 to 6. We integrate 5x minus a half x squared, and this is with respect to dx, which will give you now this will be 5x, this is 5x squared divided by 2 minus x to power 3 divided by 2 times 3, that will give us 6, and then that will give you the limits are from 0 to 6. When you integrate that, then you substitute, you should be able to get this is 5 multiplied by 6 squared divided by 2 minus 6 cubed divided by 6, and you close the bracket, minus, when you substitute 0, you get it is 0, so that will be minus 0 is equals to this will give you 90 minus 36, which will give you 54 square units. So that's the area by integration. So from there we are told on the same grid as in A, draw the line of y is equals to 2x. So we go back to our grid and we draw this graph. So the graph that we are supposed to draw is y is equals to 2x. So we just need to make a table here with 3 points. So we have x and y. Can say when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is 2. And then when x is 2, y is equals to 4. So we locate these 2 points. So we have 0, 0. When x is 1, y is 2. When x is 1, y is 2. When x is 2, y is 4. So we are going to join these points to come up with a graph of this y is equals to 2x squared. So when you join the points using a ruler, because it is a linear graph, this is a graph that you come up with. That is a graph of y is equals to 2x. So that is the graph that we have. So we go back to the question and find the next question. So now we are required part C, Roman number 2, determine the area bounded by the curve and the line y is equals to x. You get yourself 3 marks. So we already got the area bounded by the curve, which we got, it is 54. And for us to be able to understand that better, let's go back to our graph and see how the area, we should calculate the area. So the area that we are required to get is this area here, bounded by the curve y is equals to 5x minus a half x squared, and we have the y is equals to x. So we already got the area under y is equals to 5x minus a half x squared is equals to area we got, it is 54 square units. So we need to find the area bounded by the curve. That is this includes all the area down to x-axis. So we need to find the area under the curve y is equals to 2x, and we subtract from this area so that we are left with this area that I'm shading here. So what we do is we integrate 2x, that the limits are 0 to 6. This will give you that will be, when you integrate, that will be x squared. Limit is 0 to 6 is equals to this will give you 36, that is x squared minus 0. So that is the area square units. Once you get that area, then you say shaded area, which is the area that we want, area is equals to 54 minus 36, which will give you 18 square units. So that is this area, the one that I'm shading here. We get the area under this curve, and we subtract the area under this curve, and we'll be left with this area. So this is the area that is 18 square units. So that is how we work out that question, and by reaching that point, you get yourself full marks. This is question number 24, and we are told the table below shows marks scored by 42 students in a test. So we have the table showing the marks of the 42 students. So A, starting with the mark of 25 and using equal intervals of 10, make a frequency distribution table. So frequency distribution table, we have a column of class, we have the column for frequency, and we have the class for cumulative frequency. So we need 3 columns. So what we do, you can just make a simple table using your free hand. You don't need to use a ruler, so you just make a table like the one that I'm preparing here with 3 columns. So you have that is the heading, where we have the class. This is frequency, and this is cumulative frequency. So we are going to start with the first one. So let's have the row there, and we are supposed to start with 25. So across interval 10, you have 25 to 34. So we count how many marks were in between 25 and 34. So we check in our table. Between 25 and 34. This is 1, 25 and 34. Okay, 25 and 34. That's another one. 25 and 34. That's another one. This is another one. So there are 4, and therefore we can make the frequency is 4. We make another row here for the next class, and this class will have 35 to 44. So we check the marks that are in between 35 and 34. So that is 1, 35 and 34, 35 to 44, 35 to 44. This is another one, 35 to 44. This is another one, 35 to 44. This is another one, 35 to 44, 35 to 44. This is another one. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the frequency here is 5. So that's how you do that. Let's go to then the next class. The next class we put a column there. Then we say this is we have 45 to 54, 45 to 54, and therefore we get marks which are between 45 and 54. 45 and 54, that is 1. 45 and 54. This is another one. 45, another one. 45 to 54. 54. This is another one. That's another one. 45 to 54. 35 to 54. This is another one. This is another one. 45 to 54. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do we have another one? 45. 45. Let's check again. 45. We have another one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there are 8. So we put 8 there. We put another column, another row here, which is we say it's 55 to 64. So we get those values that are in between 55 to 64. 55. So we have 1, 2, 55 to 64. That is 2, 3, 64. 5. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. We have 7. We have 64, 7, 8. We have 9. We have 10. We have 10. Let's see whether we have another one which we have left out. 64. 64. That's another one. So 11. 64. 64. 64. Let's see. 64. Do we have another one? Do we have another one? 64. We have another one there. So there are 12. So you come here and you write 12. The next class is we put that is between this is where we have 65 to 74. 65 to 74. So 65 to 74, we have 1. We have 1. We have 60. We have another one, 2. We have another one, 3. We have another one, 4. 4. We have another one, 5. We have another one, 5, 6. We have 7. We have 8. We have 9. At here 9. So we come and put here 9. Okay, so we put another row, which is another row, and this row now you have 75 to 84. So we get those values between 75 to 34. So we have this one, 1 to 84, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There are 3. The ones I can see, there are 3. So we come here and put 3. We put another row here, and we say this is this is a class of 85 to 94. So 95, I think that is we can use this one. We use that is one. We have another one. I think we have marked all of them, so we have one. So that is a cumulative. That is those are the frequencies, the number of times the data appear in within this class. Cumulative frequency, we add up the frequency. So we say it is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 8 you get 17, plus 12 you get 29, plus 9 you get 38, 38 plus 3 you get 41, 41 plus 2 you get 42. So that is a cumulative, that is a frequency distribution table. If you are able to do that, then you'll be able to get 2 marks. We look at part B. On the grid provided, draw the ogive for the data, and here you are supposed to get 4 marks. This is 4 marks. So we are going to use a grid to plot this the graph. So let's do that. So this is part B. We are supposed to draw the ogive. So ogive, we use the upper class boundary and the cumulative frequency. So we can come here and say this is we say this is a starting point. So we can start from 0. Let's use a more brighter color. We start from 0. Here we say it is 10. We say it is 20. We say 30. We say 40 and 50. So that is our y. This is our cumulative frequency. Then the upper class boundary of this class, we start with 24.5. So that we have, it does not start from 0. We put a zigzag line here and we say this is 24.5. Then the next one is 34.5. So we have 44.5, 54.5, 64.5. These are the points. We have them there. This is, we have 74.5, that's 0.5, 84.5, and we have finally we have 94.5. If you have more space in your graph, then you can use two big squares, but I seem to be limited with space. So with that now, this is upper class boundary, so we now start with what we have, 24.5. So that's where we start. When it comes to that 4, we got 4. So we two small squares, one small square represent 2. We come to, let's have it there, we have 4. This is 4. Cumulative frequency is 4. Then you can use a dot or a square. 44, we have 9. So 9 is there. Then we have 54.5. We have 17. This is 18. So 17 is there. We have the next one is 29. This is 29. We have the next one is 38. So that the 8 is there. That the 8. We have the next one is 41. 41 is there in between, and we have 94, which is we got it's 42. So it's there. So you join this from 0. There you join these points and come up with the ogive, which should look like a stretched S, or we call it elongated S. So let's draw that. You use your hand, make your graph as smooth as possible. So this is the graph that I have come up with, which we are referring as ogive. The shape is like an elongated S or a stretched S. And now with that, you make your graph as smooth as possible. I have said you don't use a ruler. so it should look better than what I have here. So let's go to part C of this question. So this is a part C. Using the graph in B, which I have already inserted here above, estimate the median mark. So we found that the total frequency is 42. So it means the median mark is at, you divide by 2, the median mark should be at 21. So what you do is you take a ruler and you get the value that corresponds to, or the marks that corresponds to 21. So using 21 is here, so you place your ruler there, and you'll be able to get the median mark. So you put it there, this is where it corresponds with that, and you draw it there. So that is a median mark, and that is this is 54. Because they are 10, it means that this represents 2, so it is this is 56.5 plus 1, 57.5. So we say we come here and say median is equals to 57.5, and you can say plus or minus 0.5, so that you accommodate for the error. Then the upper quartile. The upper quartile is the 3/4. So you say 42, you multiply by, you divide by 4, and you multiply by 3. And that will give you, when you divide like that, you divide, this is 1, this is 1, 0, point 20, you get 5. So when you multiply by 5 there, you'll be able to get, this is 5, 15 carry 1, this is 0 plus 1, we have 1, and this is 3, so 31. So the upper quartile is at 31. So what you do, you just do the same with the, you identify that 31.5, which is roughly there. Let's correct that, which is 0.5. You get, it's around there, then you drop to get the value, and that this will give you, this is 66.5. So you say this is now this is 66.5 plus or minus 0.5, the error, you accommodate the error. So that is a upper quartile mark, and that is how you do that question for you to be able to get 10 marks. So I hope you have followed. You can try other questions in your, from your exercise books, from your textbook, or from other past papers, and I hope you have understood.